Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So this week, I think we are finally ready to show you our garden for the year. Danny's parents were out this weekend, and Danny, George, and Danny's dad all pitched in to get the fence up and around the garden, so I didn't have to worry about something getting in here and digging everything up. So I figure that I can give you the first tour of 2021 so that you can see what we've planted. And we're a little late in the season for planting because a little Miss Someone decided to come a little early, so it put us behind quite a bit. But we did get planted some things that are either permanent or they'll be harvested next year, or they are a fast harvest vegetable such as beans. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the stuff we've done. And right now it's just a bunch of dirt and stakes, kind of naming what the things are in the ground, but it's a really good start. I have a few more things I want to plant this weekend that are my tomato plants and my pepper plants. Those are still in the office, kind of growing up. They're about yay big, but I'm gonna get them in the ground this weekend. That way we can get some trellises around them and get them set up. And I have a few other things that I want to plant, such as our snowberries. They're not going to be ready for harvest this year, of course, but at least if we get them into the ground, we can have a good chance of them next year producing even a little bit of fruit. And then after I'm done with the garden, I figure I'll show you the baby bunnies that were born last week and just give you some life updates if you're interested. But go ahead, sit down, grab a snack, hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll get started with this garden tour. So the first thing I wanted to show you was this raised bed, and in this raised bed we have half of it being long-term vegetables and the other half being kind of like quick grow type options. Over here in the first row I have some corn. I'm not sure if it's going to sprout up quick enough because we did have a late winter this year, but I figure a couple of rows would be worth a try. And then over here beside that we have some garlic, some onions, some potatoes, and my personal favorite right here are some sunflowers. The reason for the corn and the sunflowers is either, next year or the year after, I'd really like to have it to where we produce a good amount of our own chicken feed. We'll see if that actually happens or not, though. Over in this large area where you see the stake that's kind of spread off, we have lettuce and other greens such as like spinach. And I figure that that would be a good first crop because it is quick to grow, and it kind of gives me an idea of how this soil is when it comes to acidity, fertilizer, and all of that good stuff. Over here I have some bok choy, some clouds and trees, otherwise known as broccoli and cauliflower. I have to have a little bit of fun with names. We also have some cabbage and some eggplant. So again, these are kind of some quick turnover veggies just to see kind of what's going on. Along this fence line, I've planted various kinds of beans and peas just to see if we can get them to grow and trellis up, because these vegetables are so fast growing. If they don't end up being successful in the ground, I do have another raised bed with room to grow them there. As you can see, the boys got this fence all put up, and I am so grateful, especially to Danny's dad, who really kind of took lead and kind of came up with some really good ideas to get this put together, at least until we get the posts cemented in. But this fence provides us some protection from the deer, from Kiwi, who likes to dig things up, from the horses, the goats, the chickens, just so we do have a chance at growing some things. Over here is where we're going to plant the peppers and tomatoes, and where I have some extra room if we want to grow some beans. fence. Over on this patch this weekend, I am going to get our squash and pumpkins put in. I'm going to put some trellises in to try to get them to grow up instead of out, so it saves us some room, but we'll see how it goes. And then over here we have our permanent strawberry beds. You can't really see anything other than dirt, but I promise we do have some strawberry seeds and bulbs in the ground. And, you know, maybe this year I'll be able to show you some growth and some progress to them. But if nothing else, next year I'll show you some delicious red fruit. So there you have it. That's kind of what we have for the garden. I know that it's not the most exciting yet because there's nothing green here, but here in the next month or so, I'll give you another tour, or I'll put an update in so you can see how everything's doing and you can see how green everything is. And again, I know it's not the most exciting, but I am super, super happy with the fence and everything that got put up. I'm finally glad to have a safe space for our plants that the deer aren't going to get into, and if they do, they're gonna have to really try. But it's a little windy out here, so let's get you all into the barn so I can show you the kits from this past week and you can kind of see how they're doing, and we can just sit down and have like a little life update chat. Whew, I cannot speak today. Poor Panda wants to come in and see all the veggies, but he's not allowed in here because Kiwi isn't allowed in here. And we are fair people here. We don't like dogs digging up things because it might be fun for them, but it is not fun for me to sit here and cry over. So Panda's just gonna have to hang out outside. Poor baby. So here are the itty bitty babies for the week. We have found that all 6 are brokens, and Sally has been doing very, very well with this litter. All 6 so far are doing great, knock on wood, and she's been a wonderful mommy. We have 3, they're either black or blues, and then we have 3 brown varieties. I do know that some of them are darker than others, so it looks like we have some chocolates and some tans. But let me get out a couple of these cute little boogers for y'all to see. So here's one of the babies, and this is by far my favorite just because he is just a gorgeous little thing. I think he's a tort, but I'm not quite sure yet. He's not a caster like his daddy. He's too light, and he is just adorable. He does have some faults, though, that wouldn't necessarily make him showable. One of the things is he has little spots on his ears. It's kind of hard to see, but, there are spots on his ears. He did just pee on me. So he isn't showable. We'll see if he is a buck or a doe by week 4, and if we want to keep him for our breeding program. I am not, all right, sorry about that. I got the baby taken care of. We have a few, or rather, as I was saying, I'm not really in the market for any bucks. We're probably not going to keep any bucks because none of these are spectacular when it comes to their body form or when it comes to their color quite yet. I don't see any that are quite outstanding enough to where I would keep one if they were a buck. I'm looking for specifically does, and we do have quite a few, baby, that are these, like, they're mostly white with a few speckles, which they're not showable because of how little coloring they have. But if this was a doe and our only doe, I would keep it and I would breed it to our caster bunny on the bottom cage, who is currently hiding. As you can see, that broken buck, that is the daddy of these kits. And here are all 6 kits out of the litter box, just so you can get an idea of coloration and pattern and the mix that we have had with the combination of Sally and Peppers. Like I said, we have 3 darker looking kits and 3 brownish looking kits. And as they get bigger and older, we'll be able to verify if they are males, females, and what color they really are other than broken. So the bunnies are doing great. You know, as you can see from the video I just showed, we don't really have a serious runt, which is amazing. Normally when you have a runt in a litter, it doesn't make it. So the fact that they're all about the same size is amazing. It means they're all getting some really good nutrients from mama. And I am really excited to see what colors we really have, because at first I thought that we had just blacks and chocolates, but we might have a tan and a tort. So that's really exciting because I can add that to my breeding book, and we can kind of put what we have with that pairing. So I'm super excited. I'm hoping to at least get one doe out of this litter to breed to Coco after she's about 6 months old, and we can always try breeding Sally to Coco as well. Last time it didn't took because she kind of preferred Peppers, but you know, once she's healed off of this litter and once she has some time to recuperate and get back down to pre-pregnancy weight so that she's in a healthier weight range, you know, we can definitely try Coco again. But Peppers is definitely a winning pairing with Sally. So now that we have gotten the bunny updates done, you know, a little bit of a life update. First of all, I am covered in baby rabbit pee. That's a thing, but I love baby bunnies, so it's a minor inconvenience and I'll just have to change my pants when I get inside. But right now we are currently 2 weeks postpartum. Our healing is going great. Adriana is doing really good with her feedings. She's already above birth weight, which is huge considering she was a month early. And Danny has been really wonderful these past couple of weeks, making sure that I'm taken care of, that I have gotten my sleep, and that I am not out playing with the animals too much, because I have a really bad habit of, as he would say, overdoing it. But I am back down to my pre-pregnancy weight if we're talking about off-season. I'm sitting at 100... I'll be right back. Sorry, fussy baby. And I do apologize in advance if there do seem to be a little bit of odd cuts. If she does start crying within the video, I am going to pause, stop there, take care of her, and do all of that good stuff, and then come back on. So if some things seem a little choppy, that's probably why. I'm sure y'all don't want to hear a fussy baby. I will say she is a very grumbly baby. She makes a lot of noise, but all for the most part happy baby noises unless she's hungry or needs a change. But anyway, I'm back down to my pre-pregnancy weight if we're talking about off-season. Off-season, I'm normally around 160 pounds. When I'm on season for doing triathlon training and doing that, I normally sit about 140. But I'm not going to worry about doing that kind of intense exercise until I am cleared at 6 weeks. And even then, once the OBGYN does clear me, you know, we're going to take it easy. We're going to take it slow. I'm not worried about dropping back down that low probably until next year. The fact that I'm already at, you know, off-season weight, I'm extremely happy with. So we'll see how that goes. And, you know, when I do get into training and running, you know, if y'all are interested in that and seeing what I do, you know, leave it in the comments down below. I am going to start training Dally under saddle more seriously soon once I am healed up a bit. But I'll definitely be doing a series on that of how I train Dally and how we do under saddle. Because we've only been doing like light little things here and there, putting the saddle on her, having Danny sit on top of her. Now we're going to really get into the green breaking, you know, walk, trot, canter, you know, turning, stopping, all of that good stuff. So we're definitely having that in the making coming up. But other than that, we've been doing great, you know. New baby in the house, everything's wonderful, and hopefully it will continue to be good. But I'm so glad that y'all watched. Go ahead, like I said before, like, comment, all that good stuff. I love the engagement. I love talking to all of you, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.